Hello everyone. The Rafale scam has raised its head in India once again. The French media website Mediapart has announced that on June 14th, a French judge was appointed by the National Prosecutor's Office in France to probe the Rafale deal contract for 36 aircraft worth rupees 59,000 crore. The probe has been launched after a series of investigative reports released by Mediapart in April 2021, including the role of alleged middlemen, which they claim that Indian investigative agencies know about but have not bothered to investigate so far. Corruption, influence peddling, money laundering, undue favoritism and tax favors have been cited in the complaint. Besides these, the investigation will also look into the actions of the former French President Francois Hollande, who was in office at the time this deal was signed, and the current French President Emmanuel Macron, who was Hollande's finance as well as defense minister at the time. Now, some new documents have come to light that show Dassault signing an MOU with Anil Ambani's Reliance Group on March 26, 2015, a whole 2 weeks before the final deal was announced between Pradhan Sevak Modi and the French President Francois Hollande. If true, this is highly problematic for the Modi government. The original deal agreed to by the UPA was for 126 aircraft, of which 108 were to be built in India by HAL. And when the changed deal was announced, Reliance and not HAL was to be the main manufacturer in India. It is also important to remember that on March 25, 2015, just a day before the alleged MOU was signed, the chairman of Dassault Aviation, Eric Trappier, in the presence of Indian Air Force and HAL chiefs, announced that the deal was almost nearly done and they are very happy to work with HAL. This leads to wonder what exactly happened in the days leading up to the announcement of the final deal. Another aspect in this whole saga is the setup of the offset partner company called Dassault Reliance Aerospace Limited, which was incorporated a mere 12 days before the announcement of the final deal. The MOU allowed for a joint venture between the two companies to include research and development, project management, design engineering, assembly, manufacturing, as well as maintenance and training. Even though until then Dassault had still been in talks with HAL publicly for execution of the original 126 Rafale jet contract, this new MOU was silent about any association or negotiations with HAL. The two companies, Dassault and Reliance, divided up the partnership in DRAL with a 49% and 51% stake respectively. They agreed to invest 169 million euros, but surprisingly, Dassault pledged 159 million euros and Reliance was asked to invest only 10 million euros. This would mean that Reliance was given a 51% majority stake in the newly established subsidiary for a relatively modest sum. The confidential documents accessed in France show that Dassault had shown no interest in forming a partnership with Reliance other than for political reasons, and the primary expectation from Reliance was to aid Dassault in the marketing of programs and services to the Indian government. Reliance has no expertise or experience in defense manufacturing, but clearly Dassault was ready to deal with them because of the political influence they were able to bear on this government. Francois Hollande, the ex-president of France, has already admitted in a 2018 interview to the French media that the choice of Reliance as a defense partner was initiated by the Indian government and the French had no choice in the matter. This statement was given in the media after an uproar was caused by news of Reliance Entertainment providing finance of 1.6 million euros in Jan 2016 for a feature film which was co-produced by the partner of Francois Hollande. Now, why does Modi need to clear up these doubts? Because it has been well known how closely the PMO was involved in negotiations for this deal. Manohar Parrikar, our defense minister at the time, acknowledged openly that he was not aware of the last-minute switch of HAL to Reliance and the reduction in the number of planes to be ordered. 2 days before the deal was to be announced, S. Jaishankar, our foreign secretary at the time and our current external affairs minister, was also unaware of the changes that would be taking place. Even after the deal was agreed upon, in November 2015, the Deputy Secretary of the Ministry of Defence, S.K. Sharma, noted officially that the interference and parallel discussions by the Prime Minister's office had weakened the negotiating position of the Ministry of Defence and the Indian government. Several experts have stated time and again that various aspects of the Rafale deal in terms of pricing, time frame of deliveries, cost of bank guarantees and cost of India-specific enhancements are not comparably better than the deal negotiated by the UPA. Rahul Gandhi has been raising questions surrounding the deal repeatedly since before 2019, and it seems he has been proved correct in his assessment once again. JPC is the only way that this agreement can be verified properly. This government claims no corruption or scams, but how would they come to light if they do not investigate any matter seriously? Just last week, Brazil initiated an investigation into the deal between Bharat Biotech and their president Bolsonaro. And now we have the French investigating the possibility of a scam in the Rafale deal. We are fast becoming an international embarrassment with foreign powers investigating our corruption and scams. Is this not a matter of shame for a sovereign world power? The responsibility and accountability for this humiliation lies at the doors of the Prime Minister's office and, more importantly, directly at the feet of our Pradhan Sevak Modi. That's all for today, everyone. Goodbye.